Hi, welcome to Academic Coaching for World Changers. I am Pam, and if you're a regular on my channel, you know that I do coaching and tutoring for most of the mental health exams. I want to go over the concept today of positive and negative reinforcement and positive and negative consequences. This is a concept from Skinner, who believed that we did operant conditioning, then that would change and operant conditioning would change people's behavior. The other one was Pavlov, and he did classical conditioning, and that will be another video. But in general, what I want you to know is that reinforcement always increases behavior, whether it's positive or negative. The goal is to increase the behavior. Punishment, as you know, stops the behavior. So I can give you something or I can take something away that will stop the behavior. This seems to be a really difficult concept because we're so used to punishment always being negative, maybe. In general, what I do know is that when I'm trying to reinforce behavior, I can give you something or I can take something away. And when I am trying to stop the behavior, I can give you something or I can take something away. If you're one of my regular students, you know an example that I often use when it comes to consequences or punishment um, is if I'm driving home from work today mhm, and I am going a little bit above the speed limit, I get pulled over by a policeman. Okay. The goal, of course, is to stop my behavior. When I'm going 75, 80 ish in a 55, that behavior is not acceptable. So, in order to stop my behavior, he can either give me something or he can take something away or both. So, one thing he pulls me over and he says, "Excuse me, Dr. T, I believe that you were going too fast." Um, I say, "Officer, not me." However, I was going too fast. So, what he's going to do is try to stop my behavior by giving me something. He would give me a ticket, right? You're going over too fast. I work in a state that has one of those super speeder laws. So, I might get a ticket that's a lot of money. That is stopping my behavior by giving me something. However, the same vein, he can stop my behavior by taking away something. He could take away my license. He could take away my right to drive. So then that is stopping my behavior, punishment. Negative is taking something away, my license, and positive is giving me something, and that is definitely giving me a huge ticket while I have to appear in court. Okay. When it comes to reinforcement, it's when I want to increase behavior. I like what you're doing and I want it to continue. A typical example is what happens in elementary school. So many times the teacher will give the spelling homework on Friday and then she'll give a test on Monday. If you get all of the answers right, the spelling words right on Monday, then you don't have to do the homework for the week. That is a negative. She's taking something away, a negative reinforcement because you don't want to do it anyway. So if she takes that away, then you're more encouraged to do your studying over the weekend because you don't want to have to do the homework all week. Okay? Another way of reinforcing that behavior is by giving you something. So if you get a big old star or a smiley face or 100, that's a positive reinforcement because you're giving something and that's going to increase the behavior. This is actually pretty common in lots of areas of life. I ask the people that I coach and tutor, I'll say, how do you consequence or teach your kids? And they'll give an example. So, many times the consequences are easy. Punishment, I'll say, so if your kid didn't do his homework, what did you do? So they'll say, I put him in a timeout. A timeout is actually a negative because you're taking him away from the environment. So that is a negative punishment, taking something away. And then I'll say, so what else do you do? And many times they will tell me they will give him some consequences. Sometimes it's physical, which is not always okay, but that's a way of, again, reinforcing that behavior. So giving him something lets him know that this is not okay. You could also give him extra chores. You could give him extra homework, as that often happens in school. So that's positive and negative reinforcement. Of course, there's those things that we often read that you'll see in some of the sample tests. The seatbelt. If the seatbelt is beeping, the Department of Transportation, the insurance people want you to buckle your seatbelt. So you get in the car and there's a beep, beep, beep sound. They're trying to reinforce your behavior of you buckling your seatbelt with that sound. So if you buckle your seatbelt, then that sound goes away. That's negative. They're taking something away. It's a negative consequence. But you like that because no one likes that sound. Okay. So it's really easy concept when it comes to negative and positive. The goal in general, you're going to look for reinforcement. Do I want the behavior to continue or do I want the behavior to stop? So if I want it to stop, I want to make it extinct, then I want to give or take away something that will help that behavior become extinct. Okay. Some examples: positive reinforcement. You give a child a compliment for a job well done. Yay! I'm giving you something. That works with your spouse too. He does something you like. Good job. Negative reinforcement is taking away something most often he didn't want to do or she didn't want to do anyway. So, an example might be if with my child, she's done an excellent job this week. She's cleaned up the kitchen. She's done her chores all week. On Friday, I'll say, "Oh my goodness, you've done such an excellent job. I'll take out the trash this week. You don't have to." So I'm taking something away she didn't really want to do anyway, and that is reinforcing her behavior. Okay. Positive punishment always is giving something. So, for example, if you're trying to train your dog, and he is doing something that you don't like, that newspaper thing might kind of increase, that might stop the behavior. Okay. And again, negative punishment is taking something away. Those are usually pretty easy when it comes to negative punishment. I'll take away your phone, I'll take away your time with friends. Those are usually pretty common. I had a session earlier this week, and I asked the client, "So, what do you do to consequence your friend, your student? I'm sorry, what do you do to consequence your children?" And she said, "I take away their phone and I give them a flip phone." That is both a negative and a positive. By giving them a flip phone, that is again, you're giving them something, but it's punishment, and you're taking something away by taking away their smartphone. Okay, so of course, if you look at um, my on my screen here, you'll see The Simpsons and their example. Oops, there we go. Let's go back to that. Okay. So negative reinforcement, unwanted stimulus removed by the behavior. Okay. Negative reinforcement. You didn't want to do it anyway. I'm going to take it away. If my boss said, "Pam, you've done a great job this week. You've showed up every day on time," which rarely happens, but if it did, "Great day. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you, Pam. Take Friday off." Negative reinforcement, taking away something I didn't want to do anyway. Okay. Positive reinforcement. I show up every day this week. "Pam, yay, Pam, you're on time. You're on time." I show up on time. He says, "Here, Pam, I'm going to give you a bonus." Won't happen, but that is example of negative and positive reinforcement. Okay. Again, reinforcement is always increasing the behavior. So many times we, in our relationships, we want to increase the behavior. We like that with our children, with our partners, with people in our life. We like it when they do what we'd like them to do. So we're going to reinforce that behavior, giving them something, sometimes a kiss, taking something away, a chore he didn't want to do anyway. So if your spouse did a great job this week and you are so happy with what they did and you want to continue the behavior, "My goodness, honey, thank you very much for cooking dinner. I'll wash the dishes." That's taking away a chore that he didn't want to do or she didn't want to do anyway. When it comes to punishment, same thing. Positive, giving something. Those are most often, easy. We're giving them something. We give them a spanking. We give them more chores. We give them a stern look. Okay. We take away things. We take away time. We take away a video game. We take away hanging out with friends. That is reinforcing that behavior. I'm sorry, that is stopping that behavior, extinction, because that's something that we don't want that behavior to continue. Okay? So thank you for very much for tuning into my channel today. I ask you to please subscribe because you will definitely get updates whenever I do a video. Also, below you'll find my Facebook address. If you something you want to see on this channel, something you're dying to know, I bet everyone else wants to know as well, and I will gladly make a video. So please, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my channel and leave some comments below. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.